Outcome we would want. That was a true team loss right there, coaching and playing. We, it's kind of opening game of the year for us that we really had to bear down and try to get it done. And we turned it over 5 times, had an onside kick, and give up a kickoff return. You're not going to win many. We're lucky we even had a chance right there at the end. Unfortunately, we threw that interception and had it tipped, and it really wasn't Gunner's fault, but tipped, and I'd love to have a chance to get in overtime. But they played well. They whipped us pretty good on the running game, and in the third quarter, they scored 21 points, and they had us on our heels, had us reeling. I thought our players kept playing hard, kept focused. We started getting a few breaks. We just didn't manage in the red zone in the first half, and that's a tough deal when your offense and your defense playing so well and your offense drives down, you can't get at least 1 touchdown out of the two that we got in the red zone. So unfortunately that happened. But they got a good football team. We knew coming in that we were going to have our hands full, and we were just hoping that we wouldn't turn the ball over, and we did. And they took advantage of it and whipped us pretty good. Questions?
When you walked in, you took a nice little look at the box score here. What's the thing that kind of popped out to you the most?
Well, I was just kind of looking at the turnovers. I kind of lost track tonight. Started having to count on 2 hands, but you just can't give up that many opportunities. And we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. We got a pretty good offense, but we just can't seem to make a big play. And we did make one with McHale down the sideline. We had a chance maybe for another one or 2, but they did a good job. They made us earn it. They made us catch the ball in front of them. They hit us, and they just kind of sat back and waited to see if they get a tip ball or an overthrown ball, and that's exactly what happened. That's what experienced teams do. So, we look at stats and all that, you wouldn't think the score would be what it is, but it is what it is. We lost, and unfortunately it's the first conference game. It's a long season. We'll just go back to work and see if we can limit what we're doing in terms of turnovers, but we've got to play better in the red zone. We've got to be able to get the ball in the end zone and help the defense out a little bit.
You're a guy that focuses on special teams a lot. Frustrating that they're having the issues that they're having so far.
Yeah, it's just amazing. We just had 2 guys miss the tackle, and they did a good job of countering the 1 kickoff return. But it is what it is. I mean, we had 2 guys unblocked, didn't make the tackle, and you got to be able to make those tackles. But again, you got to give them credit. They kept pressure on us. We seemed to lose our focus there at the beginning of the third quarter, and they had us on our heels, and they didn't get off of us. They put their foot on our neck, and then they did a good job. Got an interception after the kickoff return. Then the onside kick, they just absolutely kept us off balance. They came here to win the game. They didn't come here to mess around and try to see if they could win the game. They went to take the game. They did that.
Gunner kind of pointed out his difficulty with this team last year. 4 interceptions tonight. Obviously, some tip balls, so you can't really control things like that. Why do you see them having so many issues with this team?
Well, they do a good job of their coverage. They do a good job of playing zone. They bait you into throwing some things. They drop off 8. They rush 3. They do a lot of stuff that some teams don't do, and they do it well. They disguise it. They do a good job of disguising coverages. They do a good job of disguising blitz and then dropping off. And again, they give everybody problems, not just us. If there was one bright spot, I thought that going in this game, I never thought we'd hold them, offensive line and hold them to one sack as many times as we threw the ball, and that was really a coverage sack. Our offensive line played pretty good at times, and they'll even get better. That's really the part that I was really more concerned in this game than anything. But again, you can't turn the ball over like that. There was several times we just kind of threw it up for grabs, and Gunner would love to have some on the back. He's a quarterback, and everybody can see it, and that's the reason quarterbacks get a lot of credit and a lot of blame. But sometimes it's on the receiver. There was one time that he threw an interception, the receiver broke the wrong way, and those things happen. But we got to get to a point where, when we do play and play hard and play well, and we get the ball down the red zone. I thought that was the biggest key as anything. First half, we just get 1 touchdown. We get them back on their heels a little bit and make them throw the ball. But we never could get any momentum and get their offense behind the 8 ball, and they got us behind.
On that last throw, was that maybe one he should have thrown away and lived to fight another day with as many guys as they had around?
You know, I have to look at the film, but as much as that, if we threw the ball and as many coverages as they run, you know, you're going to have an interception or two. You're not going to be perfect. And, you know, a couple of those things were tipped. Our receivers were trying hard, and you know, we tipped the ball up there, and they, you know, it just happened to fall their way. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, you got to go out and you got to make your own breaks. And I thought that, you know, take away the third quarter, we played a pretty good football game, but you can't take away a third quarter. You got to play for 4 quarters, both offense and defense and special teams. It was just atrocious the first eight minutes that we played in the third quarter. And again, it was them coming out and just taking it to us. And you know, they ran a couple of blitzes that we hadn't seen starting the third quarter. We threw that one up for grabs, and it got intercepted. And then, of course, they come back and had enough willpower to say, let's kick an onside kick. And we had a young middle guy that backed out there too quick, and can't happen. And so it's, you know, that's just that was pretty much the difference. Just a couple of plays there.
Tom, you talked last week about special teams having some problems, and then you get over 100-yard kickoff. Obviously, huge play in the game, which was a ton for the second half.
Yeah, and before you came in here, we were talking about that, and it's just, you know, the guys were trying. We were in our lanes. The guy just made us miss. We had 2 missed tackles, and we've got to learn to break down. When you're in open field, we've got to learn to make the guy slow down. He hit it full stride and made us miss and never stopped, and it doesn't give your pursuit time to get over there. So, but that was a good call from them. They ran a counter. We had not seen a counter this year from against our kickoff return team, meaning you take the ball up one side and all of a sudden you block and you wash everybody down, and they kind of suck you inside the hash marks. And they did a good job. It was as much of them executing what they did as how bad we covered it. But again, you can't have that happen. We had a punt block last week, and we had a kickoff return for a touchdown, and that's just hard to overcome those. It really is. And then, of course, the onside kick's like a turnover. It's like us getting the ball and throwing an interception or turning over on the first play of the next drive. So way too many turnovers. You're not going to beat many people when you do that. You're just not going to do it. And we dominated part of the game in terms of between the 20s. But again, just like that last drive down there, we got to the 3 or 4 yard line, whatever it was, and you got to still be careful with the ball. You can't get lackadaisical with it. And unfortunately, we threw a little bit high. Could have been called, but it was tipped. We're trying to catch it and tipped up. And number 8, who I'm glad, hopefully, is he a senior?
Yes, sir.
He's gone. Thank goodness. He's a heck of a football player.
Coach, how disappointed is the team, and how resilient of a group do you think you have?
The who?
How disappointed is the team right now, and how resilient of a group do you think you have?
We'll have a resilient group. We got a chance to be a good football team. But if it goes back and just look at several games last year, the games that we didn't play very well and we just turned the ball over, I was proud of our defense. I thought we really played well, much better on defense the first half. It was only out there 26 plays. And then they kind of got knocked for a loop for the kickoff return. And then we turned it back over, and they had to go back out on sudden change from about the 40-yard line in, hit I think a long 3rd down play. And then they kicked the onside kick. I was pretty much pleased with how we played defensively, considering how much time we played this year. We still played a lot of guys. We'll get better. It's just, I mean, you're not going to beat a lot of people when you have those mistakes in the kicking game and the turnovers that you give up. You know, it just kind of takes the life out of you. But these guys are resilient. They'll fight back, and they know they got a chance to have a pretty good team. We still have a great year. Probably takes the pressure off of them, knowing that, you know, they got this one out of the way and got beat. Unfortunately, it happened to us at home. Now we've got an uphill battle, but we'll fight back. We did last year. We'll fight back this year. We just got to get better, understand where we're at and what we got to do to get better. But we just can't, against good football teams, you can't turn the ball over like we did.
Anything else?